Alright guys, so welcome to the light bar project on my Rex. As you can see, I'm missing a fog light there and there. Huh. They happen to be over here. So there's one fog light, there's the other, and then this right here, that, my friends, is the cover to the light bar that I picked up. That was delivered earlier today. And this right here is stained glass, canary yellow. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to spray that, and that lens so they all match. Alright, so hoping you guys can see that. See what's down there on the ground. Alright, well I'm going to hope you guys can see that. So, basically what I'm going to do is just go ahead and I'm going to start spraying this shit. It's weird, this actually kind of smells like bananas. I hope I don't get runs in that one. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys off. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I've got that one, and then of course my light bar. Those are all drying right now. So while those are drying, I'm gonna go ahead inside. I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'm gonna come back out here and finish them up. Hopefully they'll look a lot better once they dry a little bit. As you can see, like, I don't know if you can see that. Come on, focus. Focus. See those little bubbles on the side? I think that's because I put it on a little too heavy, but it's hard to really get like the whole headlight or fog light, and not, go, because you have to go around basically the edge first and then hit over the face. So hopefully that fixes itself, and hopefully that one, I don't really see it on this one, and hopefully that one's okay, but we'll see. I'll be back in probably about 30 minutes, let this really dry well. I'm hoping just like 2 coats maximum. The second coat, I'm just going to come out here and just really light. And then I'll show you guys the install on the car. I'm thinking, obviously fog lights go where the fog lights go, but the only real place for this light bar I'm not sure if I'm gonna mount it on the top. If I'm gonna mount it from up here, because where the fuck are they? There's already a hole there. It's not really that good of a hole, but there's a hole here and there. But I'm not sure if those are evenly spaced anyway. And then I've got those two holes, and then down here there's nothing. So if I do decide to put it down here, I'm gonna have to drill 2 holes, which, you know, whatever. I can drill 2 fucking holes. It's no big deal. So, you know, we'll see. The only problem with going down here is this lip on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. Probably not, but I'm gonna have to drill through this side and the bottom side on the inside there. So that might be a little bit of a pain in the ass to get it all lined up, but you know, we're gonna do what we gotta do to make things work the way they gotta work. So we'll see. Like I said, I'll be back out here in about 30 minutes, and it'll be about 2 seconds for you guys. Alright guys, so I just came back outside. These look great. I actually, before I went back in to go eat, I actually resprayed these in that before I went back in. I've been inside probably for about 30 minutes now. Those areas I was talking about up here actually look a lot better. They actually all look a lot better. This looks great. Let me stick you guys up on this mount. Okay. Hope you guys don't fall. Let's see what this looks like. Wow. See that? That actually looks really good. Right there. Oh shit, almost dropped it. Alright, so we'll go alright, just gotta give you guys a test fit. Go ahead, slide this in. Oh yeah, that looks fucking awesome. Look at that, guys. The new light bar. That fucking looks cool. Alright, so basically my next step, I've got to put this back together. So real quick, how this goes together. You have 2 end caps. There's one here, and there's another one here, and this just goes on the end like that. I thought I heard somebody. Oh, all right. Anyway, and this goes on this side and this side, and basically the glass pushes on that. That way, no water gets in behind to fuck with the light bulbs. So right now, I've got to take this glass back out, re-put these rubber seals on both sides going down, reseal it on both sides. Well, reseal it on that side, slide the glass back in, and then go ahead and cover that back up, and then we'll be all set. This will be ready to go. And then I'll get probably that all hooked up, and then I'll work on those fog lights. Alright guys, so right now I'm trying to put this light bar back together, and basically what needs to happen is Alright, so basically what's happening right now is I have a piece of that white gasket right there and a piece of that white gasket right there, and I'm putting this cover back on, and I got a bolt there, 2 bolts there, and that's going to squeeze this together while those white gaskets run down the sides. Hopefully you guys can see this. There we go, that side's getting squeezed. This side. Okay. So both those sides are done. My eye. Okay, so both those sides are done. So I know the white gaskets run this whole length, so that once this glass is or plastic is tightened down, there won't be any water able to get in there. So to tighten this plastic down, I've got all these little bolts right here that run the whole length, and basically you just use an Allen key and you got to go through the whole side. I can actually see this squishing the white rubber on the other side, so I know it is working, and there won't be any water able to get in there, or sand or whatever else. Holy shit. There's so many of these fucking bolts. check them real quick, make sure they're all nice and tight, nice and snug. Okay, so that's it. So that right there is the light bar all put back together, and I think that looks fucking awesome. I mean, just look at that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be unbelievable. Have that in there. It's gonna look dope. All right, so now that I have this back together, I'm gonna go ahead and mock it up and basically figure out where the fuck I'm gonna put these holes. So I will go ahead and show you guys once I figure that out. All right, guys. So right now the the fog lights are starting to come together. For some reason, the HID kit that I have on my car, because it's cheaper, the high beam and the low beam are basically joined together, and I think it shorts out the system somehow, and it makes the car think that my high beams are on all the time, which they're not. So basically what that means is that these fog lights, ever since I put my HIDs in, have not lit up. So right now what I'm going to do is wire in a completely separate switch for my fog lights and that light bar. And basically that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just heat shrinking and soldering these connections. And then I'll heat shrink and solder these connections once I get them in the car. This is just so I have a little bit extra line to work with. So, yeah, that one's done. And this is the one I'm on right now. Basically, I am just about to take these two end caps off and use the wire that I have there to solder this and basically make it just like that one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll update you guys. Alright guys, so right now I've got this light and this light both prepped. They're both ready to go in. I've also got the light bar in there. Now when you install the fog lights, there's a bolt there, and there. I have them down there. These bolts are actually not like you would expect. You would expect them to just thread in and that's it. They're actually like an actual bolt and nut. So there's a nut on the other side that you have to go either under the car or inside the top to actually get to. So luckily I have the car jacked up right now, so it's really easy for me to get to these. But if I didn't have it jacked up, this is kind of be a pain in the ass to change these out. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this and that in, and then basically just do the wiring, and we'll see how they look. I think it's coming together fucking awesome. I mean, look at that. That looks awesome. I'm actually gonna wait on putting that bolt in because that side only has 2 bolts and this side has 3, but for some reason, I think it was because this car's been in an accident before, this side of the car was smashed. So it's actually really hard to get to the other bolt on this side, so I'm just gonna stick it on that. It's actually really hard to do with one hand, guys. Alright guys, what do you think? Fog lights are in. So now the only thing that's left to do is to wire those up. Alright, so something that I have to do to basically put my switches in. What I have to do to put my switches in is take this whole bottom piece, basically take this whole bottom piece off, and this is actually really simple to do. I believe there's only like 2 screws that hold this bottom casing on, if I remember correctly. First thing I'm gonna have to unplug my cob access port. Get that out of the way. Alright, so you're gonna have one Phillips head. It's gonna be right on the right side of the steering column. Alright, come on. That's a real pain in the ass when you can't have the door open. My fucking garage is so small. So there it is. That's what it'll look like. I usually put those right in my shift boot whenever I work on something, so I know where it is. And then I believe there's one more. All this fucking change out. come on. Get out of there. Alright. Don't forget your change if you got some. I keep my change usually in that little pouch. So the other screw, if I remember, okay, the other screw is right here. It's by your trunk release. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. This is why I need like a bigger garage. It's better than having no garage though. Okay. Here's your other screw. So that's out. And now that I've got both of the clips, I believe there's two, maybe there's a third. Okay. That didn't sound too good, did it? I don't care. There's one right here in the door. Of course. There we go. Fuck it. I've got another clip at home. So, what I'm gonna have to do though is take that and this, because they're gonna both have to be drilled out. Just so you guys see, in my previous video I talked about a shitty ass solenoid that comes with this boost gauge right here, and it's this. I mean, look how cheap that thing looks. Really focus on that. Look at that. That's like cheap. I mean, you can see right there it's like split open. And it's been like that since I bought this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is probably leaking a little bit of boost, and I'm going to pull this out. Actually, right now, I'm not going to show you guys how to take that out. But yeah, we dropped this. So that's the big thing. I'm going to go ahead and prep these right here. Prep these right here because these are going to go into my, these are going to be my fog light switches. So these got to be drilled out and, oops, shit. Basically drilled out and prepared to have a switch put in them. Alright guys, so real quick, I just did some first time plastic welding. Basically on here. Come on, focus. There we go. So I did some first time plastic welding. Basically what this is there's a nail inside of there, and I used a soldering gun. There's a little bit of zip tie there, then the nail, and it's basically to keep this from coming apart, because as you can see right there, it popped apart. And this is the piece that's going to plug into my dash for my fog light switch. Alright guys, so I just finished up basically installing everything. It's literally like 2 in the fucking morning, so I am exhausted, so I'm gonna go inside, go to bed.